We'll be doing an informative speech today about PTSD. Alright, so PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about why I chose this topic when it was we could have chose from any topic for the speech. So I had a buddy when I was stationed in Hawaii. He was suffering from PTSD. He just got out of the Army, and I spoke to him the day prior, and the next day he killed himself. He overdosed on his prescription medication that he was taking. All right, so PTSD has been around since every war that has ever been fought. Okay, specifically, I'll be addressing OEF and OIF, and which has the highest rate of PTSD reporting per year, ranging from 11% to 20%, compared to Vietnam and the Gulf War, which was at 15 and 12% per year. All right, so the main topics are going to be the PTSD development in different genders, the effects of PTSD, and ways to treat PTSD. All right, so PTSD can affect anyone and everyone. All right, it doesn't matter your age, gender, culture, religion, anything. Anyone who was subject to a traumatic event, and that traumatic event causes them to relive it in any way, shape, or form. A sound, a sight, anything that would cause them to click back over into the state they were in during that traumatic event. All right. So the American Psychological Association added PTSD to their Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders in 1980, and recognized it as the only disorder in the manual that requires an event to happen as the cause for the disorder. All right. PTSD develops through mental anguish, and it's just like what's relevant to us. You see people at fireworks shows, and they can't handle the loud booms, bangs, stuff like that. You'll see people start to revert back into that spot where they were when they were hearing the loud explosions from war or anything like that. All right, so females in the Army today have become more susceptible to PTSD because of the push that has been made for them to have combat jobs and to be in combat support jobs. Okay, this major push caused the VA in Connecticut to do a study as to the rate that they're suffering from PTSD. Okay, so they're suffering from at a rate of 21% in that study compared to 33% for males. But they also screen higher for depression, almost nearly half of them at 48%, and 14% of them suffered from military sexual trauma. All right, so now that we know that it can affect anybody, we're going to go into what some of the effects are. All right, so these pictures come from, and actually a friend of mine, also from Hawaii, he got discharged. He was suffering from PTSD. He went on and did a collection of pictures about the effects of PTSD. So it can have different effects on different people, and everyone copes with everything differently. Okay, so some substance abuse issues is one of the major effects. An article from 2008, DoD Military Medicine has alcohol and misuse of prescriptions as the choice of substance abuse in veterans and active military soldiers, which is exacerbated in active military soldiers by pending deployment and post-deployment. So turning to any substance to get through life is just like a normal person putting a blindfold on and trying to walk down the street. Okay, you need your eyes to see, but people need these substances to get through the day. All right, so things happen in the Army with medication being prescribed, and prescribed at wrong dosages and in combination with different drugs, which can cause chemical imbalances in people's brains and cause them to overuse or to misuse their prescription medication. Also, we self-medicate just in day-to-day tasks. Okay, So then the next thing we're going to look at is here's the suicides and suicide attempts. Okay, suicide in any community is a tragedy, but when it is that person who was by your side in battle, it becomes extremely at a higher rate of emotion. Okay, so that guy who protected you, you couldn't protect him from himself. So Mission 22, I don't know if you guys have heard of Mission 22, but one thing that stuck out to me about them was their mission statement, which was 22 vets take their lives every day. Our mission is to end it. Okay, so they're putting the national spotlight on the struggle that veterans have gone through as far as PTSD. So a study about PTSD and suicidal behavior showed that vets with PTSD are more likely to exhibit suicidal tendencies and attempts rather than those who do not have PTSD. All right, so with the national media attention on PTSD and veterans, it's caused the Department of Veterans to reevaluate their treatment options. All right, Michigan State University has a system which is called the buddy-to-buddy system for their National Guard soldiers, which when their soldiers come back from war, they're assigned a civilian person to help them reintegrate back into society. All right, so the treatment through VA, they know that there is not one treatment for this condition that can make the PTSD go away. Okay, so no one-size-fits-all type treatment for PTSD. So there are many nonprofits that exist to help soldiers with PTSD, and they're attempting to integrate back into society. One is Save a Warrior, which is a nonprofit, and their mission statement is their original warrior-led conversation that provides a well-grounded and common-sense healing experience for active duty veterans, first responders struggling with PTSD. All right, so in conclusion, the main topics were that the effects of PTSD can affect anyone, what some major effects of PTSD were, and some ways that they can seek treatment. I want to close by saying that the disorder hit very close to home for me, like I explained to you in the beginning. I'm not sure from the guys who deployed here if they're suffering from PTSD or they know someone who is, but if they do, then they should encourage that person to go seek treatment. All right, so here are the references that came from the information that I gave you. Any questions? No? All right, so this is going to conclude my speech.